church.
Well, hello to episode 8. Now, I had made a bunch of episodes ahead of time, so I, didn't have to be stressed every week. And I've run out, so I need to get this one done, and I think there's probably one more after this, and that'll probably finish off Telluride Sunrise. But, I've been kind of away from here a little bit, even though it's, week by week for me, it's been several weeks, so we'll see what happens. I went to San Juan Capistrano to get something, yeah. Yeah, but I didn't drive it back. But hey, like my shirt? Always be yourself. Unless you can be a buzzard, then always be a buzzard. Yeah, okay. I'm lucky I have some nice buzzards that fly around, and sometimes they come in low and circle, and their wings are huge, and they... And I love it. So, hey, you like my shirt too? When I used to be working, we used to have Hawaiian Shirt Friday, so I went on eBay and I found the most loudest Hawaiian shirts I could find. All right. Okay, then, so we're going to finish off what was really the mix, and then we're going to go into a mastering, and I'll probably do the video last. And yes, I have a little red mark here, and someone asked me if I had a wart there, but no, it's just like this little circle of hairs that grow straight out. So if I've shaved this thin, it doesn't show as much, but when it's a little bit longer, the shadow shows. And yes, for those really concerned, I had this checked out, and it came back, the biopsy is unremarkable. Never heard that before, but it was unremarkable. Thank you for your concern. Okay, now let's go and see what's left. Okay. Let's pop it back. Bam. And now let's get my ugly face off. Okay, so now we're at the end. Now, by the way, this is what they call a mix, because I got everything here, and I'm trying to get it so that everything sounds balanced and good. We're at the last verse, because I think I started with verse chorus, and here I end up at the end, verse chorus, which is the opposite, even though it sounds the same. Anyways, and here's Vina, and the words I think are the same. I think we go back to the, not stream, but smooth moon. Oh yeah, the smooth moon. Okay, Jim.
Two souls, they have connected like earth to the smooth moon, a cascade of worldwide blue.
And then we get into the chorus. Let's see if we can get, that's Vina. Let's get a little Kevin action in here, I guess. Oh, he's way down here. Okay. There we go. Come on. Come on, Kevin. Maybe he hasn't showed up yet. Oh, too big. Let's get that down in here. Let's get some Kevin action. Same words again, I believe. And here we go.
She comes my baby.
It's a bright day to reveal all of returns. She restores my soul.
Ah, a little bit different here, see?
Tell your bright sunrise.
Tell your bright sunrise.
All right. And I did that little, oh, that was so creative, wasn't it? Okay. Anyways, and here we get in here. Let's scoop it out. And over here. And I bring in Vina. Oh, it looks like I go over here. Let's see what happens here. There we go. Do the flip flop.
Tell your bright sunrise. Tell your bright sunrise.
Okay, and then in here you can see I have Vina left and right to 64 as it's slammed in this case. I have the reverb slammed. I have Kevin the same way, so they're actually on top of each other there. Trying to create an open space was my attempt, and probably let's get into this. And we've got, where is it? Over here. And we got some sample delays. If you notice, it's probably, in this case, it's minus 64, which is the left side. And then I sample delayed it. I think that's around, what did I say, about 16.7 milliseconds to help create a little ambience. And then I add just a little bit of distortion on that to make it a little bit different, because if it's exactly the same, it tends just to go back together. And that's about the only additional thing. Since I'm on this, I think I did this before, but just in case, one again, it's really important because at this point I'm getting ready to do the master, and I want what they call a headroom. So I want this around minus 12 dB. And since we're doing the ending here, we'll just kind of look at the end and we'll see where it's at. There's minus 14, minus 14. Oh, there it goes up a little bit. It was around 11, 12, around minus 11, minus 10. It tends momentarily, so I'm kind of happy with that. So plenty of headroom. If not, then I select all of these. And I won't do it totally here, but something like that, but I go all the way across. And I move everything selectively. I do go back because I moved everything down the same. Let's get my ugly face up. Is it here? Yeah, I remembered. It's been a while since I've been on here. Let's get that off. And because even though I drop everything down, the energy levels don't go in a linear fashion. Sometimes it's more in a logarithmic fashion. So, okay, and I have to do some adjustments to my ear. The song sounds great to my ear. It may not sound good to anybody else's ear, but it does sound to mine, and I don't know what else to do. So anyhow, that's what I do to get it ready for the mastering. Now, I don't know if I talked about this. This is SonarWorks. A good friend of mine, Chris, helped me on this. This is a microphone that has been, the microphone itself is a special microphone, but it's also been, let me get my ugly face up. It's been checked for this, how linear it is. And then there's a software program, and you go through some motion, boo, 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 it makes some noise, and it measures your room, and it creates an adjustment so that when it's on, like here, it's on, it equalizes everything to make it sound like what it should sound like in all other perfect conditions, I guess. without that, you're always guessing. And let's get back up in here. Boom. Oh, there we go. And you can see that I had to pump up a lot of the low end here, and then there's actually a takeout because of room reflections that's taking on, and then some of the high end. So what I used to have to do, it was a pain. It was I used to go do the best I can, run to my truck, run to other things, listen, and that's no good. Come back, and then you're always shooting in the dark, and this takes the guessing out of it. If it sounds good here, it pretty much sounds good everywhere. Sometimes I have to adjust the bass level or something, and the bass level is kind of tricky for me. I don't think I've ever really nailed how it seems like some people in the professional level mixes, you can always have a nice kind of a bass sound. Mine tends to kind of up and go lose it a little bit, especially on sometimes I get it on iPhone. You can hear the bass, but sometimes it's just gone. And I try to put a little bit higher end in there to try to get it come out, but I don't spend the whole year on one song. Gets close, good enough. All right, so that kind of takes care of, I believe, the mixing element of it. We got the headroom. That should be the same thing as this over here. And output. Did I have any buses on here? Yeah, I had some buses. Why are they not on? I don't know. Plug-in not loaded. Oh. To reduce login time plugins. I don't care if it's reduced. You turds. Gotta blow my nose. Maybe they're still loading in. I tell you, man, I've been very disappointed. I think my friend has got the same thing, and he's running great on him. So it may not be the computer. It could be I'm interfacing older stuff in it. I don't know. I'm only have so much shelf life on the studio, anyways, and I don't want to. I'm trying to limp along to the end. In fact, I am considering. I've been rethinking a lot of things, and I may be letting go of the. Let's create a little song and kind of be in the market of what other people are used to listening to, and I might just start doing either what I want, which it always I guess should be. That's not quite what I mean. I might go into a little more instrumental oriented. Maybe I'll throw some words here and there, but a little more. I'm not sure if esoteric's the right word or not, but I guess I'm talking too much. All right, let's get that thing off my. Okay, now let's go and make a real quick check. Oh, I don't want to do that. Ooh. I'm always trying to get rid of myself. Okay, get down in here. Oh, another thing I should probably add. Here's the diamond. Boom. Remember, I can't believe it. I just can't. Look, it's all the way across this time. It must be the way this is. Oh, it's all one piece. I bet that's what it is. Yeah, let's go like to here. And I guess I have to select it all now to get it rather than here. But what I discovered, like here is selected one. And if I go to the track, it used to do that anyways. So they've upgraded something and probably made something, more slick. And that's okay. Except that it, it kind of messes me up. But I'm sorry, Jim. Apple doesn't exist. It's strictly for you. But it should. Okay. Almost did it again. Okay. So let's make this smaller, make that smaller, make this smaller, make that smaller. That's as small as I can get. I tend to work in the file because I do a lot of volume adjusting by doing change gains, and I cut things, and then just because cut doesn't mean it's been moved. It just means I'm changing the volume a little bit, because I never showed automation. I always talked about it. So let's give you a real quick demonstration of automation, and it won't be a problem unless I accidentally save it. But we go in here, and then down here in my keyboard there's an A, and I go in there and I press it. No, cancel. Oh, I almost did it. Press the A. Oh, and I have it set at minus 12.6 dB. I can go up here and do a little pencil. And let's say, oh, that one is too loud, or that one's not loud enough. Okay. I have the command, and then I hit this, and I go, and it goes to 12.9. Then I go up here, and I can make it really loud and make it smaller, less loud. I can get rid of the volume. I can do that. So that's what automation is. I'm afraid to hit that, but let's just see what happens. Did you hear that little ring? We can actually pull that up, and we'll see here. Let's really crank this puppy up. There we go, just for fun and grins. Hear that come up? And it's still loud because I didn't bring it back down. So let's do some backups, or not backups, but undos. All right. And then I get rid of the A, and I should be back to normal. And the second thing in my favor is if I don't save, it won't save anything anyways. So now, what I do then is I create a little bar, and it's already set up, but I go just before it and just after it. And then I come in here into bounce project or selection. When I do a pre-master, I go here, and I don't do the MP3 yet. This is just an Apple, as opposed to setting it up for a wave. It's just different formats, 24-bit. I don't do 32-bit float. I do 96. 96 is just more samples per second. So it should be a little more accuracy in it. But I am suspicious sometimes the program converts it down to 44 and then converts back up to 96. I don't have evidence of that, but I think I'm suspicious that it does that. So I'm not sure how useful that is. Anyways, then I bounce it. I end up with what I call a pre-master mix. And also, it's very important that I go in here on the SoundWorks and turn it off. Otherwise, I am putting in the adjustment into the pre-master, and you don't want that, because it's setting that for my ears, and now it's going to be imprinted into the mix. You don't want it imprinted into the mix. So I have to turn that off, and then I bounce it, and away I go. So then I end up with a master. There's my ugly face. I'll repeat myself, and there we end up with a master. I don't like masters. They're mean and they whip you. Oh, no, not that kind of master. A master meaning everything, all the different tracks have been bounced into a stereo system. And now, let's take a look at the master process. Oh, now we're getting ready for the masters. So, let's get my ugly face off. Let's try that. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the masters. Telluride Sunrise. These are the various masters. Starting on this one, I'm starting to do things a little bit different. The CB stands for Cloud Bounce. So we'll get to that in a moment. But I believe the Logic Pro is in here. And there, yeah, I got it. And there we go. I did it 9 times. Okay, let's see if we can squeeze this up a little bit. I'm not going to play this because it's going to be like super loud. This has been loud adjusted. But then I have Sonarworks on because I listen to it. But when I bounce it from here, I got to, same thing, I got to turn this off. And usually I do a little bit of EQ. And this one I didn't do it on. But normally I run things through a bus compressor. So what's a bus compressor? Well, I'll get a camera out and I'll show you a picture of it while I'm talking about it. Okay. What you're looking at, hopefully, is my 609 compressor. It's a famous compressor that's used, but this one is I have the word aftermarket, but that's not quite the word. It's a clone. This one does a good job. I did use the one that was below it, which was the 4000. And the original one I had an upgrade in it. It worked great, but then it developed this high-pitched sound. I sent it in to get fixed. They couldn't find what's wrong with it. They sent me a new one. I kept saying, upgrade, and they said, yeah, this one's got it. I to be honest with you, I always want to be honest with you. I never opened it to look at it because I wouldn't know what I'm looking at. I have to research it. But I swear this doesn't work as good as the one with the high-pitched sound. But I get lazy and I'm always going for end results, and the 609 does a great job. Now I'm going to show you, hopefully, my Fairchild. And this is an example of an old school compressor, a bus compressor. And just for those who don't know, when you say bus compressor, I don't know why. It must be from old terminology, but it's like a stereo. It can handle 2 channels. And they should be balanced, hopefully, although I'm not sure they always are. And then you can compress your stereo mix. So this is old school. It's got tons of tubes in it. It was originally used for broadcasting to get voice quality, and eventually got into the studios. I don't use it very much, and it's very expensive. But the reason I don't use it is just the type of music I have. If I have really old school music, that thing is the way to go. Part of life is experimenting and trying things out. All right, so usually I run it through the little compressor, and I only do about the needles going bongy, 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 bongy. I try to keep it 3 or under. If it goes 3.5 once or twice throughout the whole thing, I don't care. You can even go up to 4 for a quick second. I don't care. But basically, most of it's around 2 or less, or 3 or less. That's good. Otherwise, it sounds overly compressed to me, and I don't like the way it sounds. You lose, in my ears, a certain dynamic colorfulness that I like. So it's something that I think a lot of people can very easily overdo. Of course, music is just what people get used to, so if everybody overdoes their compressions, people get used to it, and that's what they want to hear. I'm an old toad, so speaking of toads, there he is. Hey, let me get that off. He's not a toad. Do you have anything against toads? No. See, the world is evolving. Frogs and toads get along just fine. Okay. So let me get my ugly face off here. So this is usually what I do is I bring in the original bounce, and of course I did, so you can see it's preamp here. And in this case, I forgot to put fades, so I added fades in there, and then since I didn't put 609, it wasn't run through the compressor. Like everything else in this series, it's something a little different than I usually do, but so be it. And then I used to put a limiter in here, which is like a compressor, but it just it limits it up rather than pushing it down, and then you can just increase the overall volume with it. Nowadays, I've heard remixes and stuff because they want, in their minds, it's like they want people to hear it on the stations or on headphones, and they beat the crap out of it. They claim that people listen to it more, but to me, it's a lot of times it destroys the music. So a lot of the remixes of my old music is at times destroyed. I don't want to get into this group or that group. It's not always true. Since I'm on the rant of remixes, to my ear, a lot of the old classics that they remix, I don't understand. Sometimes the original song has something going dingity 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 in the background, and then they bring it around the front, and something that's kind of important, they push it back, ding 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 ding, and with that very clear explanation, you understand that sometimes I think people do things just to make it different rather than using their brains. So I've listened to some remix of old songs. I go, God, they made that really irritating. I got that thing clanging in my ear, and in a part that's demonstrating some musical ability, performer, is pushed back. I don't get it. But anyways, doesn't matter. It's just freaking music. All right, let's get back here. So then I now I run it through a cloud bounce, and let's go in the cloud bounce. It's right down here. All right. So we open that puppy up. You can't look at my password. Then I browse for the file. Okay. And, let's just see if we can cloud bounce. What am I in here? This is the individual. This is the last song I did. The individual. Maybe I'll show you some of the individual here. This one says to use. We'll just open it. It's analyzing it. To me, they got this ass backwards a little bit in that you have to run something before you can adjust it. That's unless I'm missing something. It's evaluating. All right. Now it's done it down to -12. I used to do 10, but I found that 12. Well, I used to use 10 when I was doing the limiter. Put it that way, not cloud bounce. And I think people talked about 9, but I found that to be too much. I went down to 10 because I wanted a little bit of dynamic range. I found I had to tap it down a little bit here on cloud bounce to -12. I'm not sure how even everything is, so maybe this 12 is like what my 10 was. I don't know. So, and then this will be very loud, so I can't do it because it's been industry standard adjusted. All right. Then I can redo it and do less bass or more bass, blah 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 blah. I just found, and they have preferences here too: ambient, jazz, rock, and I kind of stick with the rock pop, and so you can do some adjustments there, and then we can export. If I export, then I'll just have to say quit anyway. So that's it. And that's where, let's see, do you want to ignore the session and close the application? I don't want to ignore it, but I do want to close it. So, okay. If I ignored it, then I wouldn't know it's there, and I would never be able to close it. All right. So that's why this is big. This is actually, you can't go by this, because sometimes, I don't know how to say, the program's not reliable on using visually, okay? It just isn't there. But usually a lot of these are starting to slam up against the edge, and it clips it. So, and I'm using clip in not in a negative way. It stops it there before it starts to clip, and then and then other volume things come up, and like classical music is just the opposite. You get real slow. You'd be like if you did loud adjustment to a classical music, everything would be on top of itself. And then I put the little end fades on it, and then I end up with the master. Let's get my ugly face up. Hey, I can get another ugly face up. Oh, maybe not. It's down there. Okay. Oh, there it is. I got surprised. Look at that. Oh, man. I'm glad I'm not him. Okay. And that's the master. So, no, you don't want to do that, Jim. No. Okay. Look at that. I got that really tiny. All right, let's get this puppy down. Oh, we're not going to save it anyway, so we're going to close. Don't save. All right. And what crap I got back there? Okay. That's it. Hey, I lost myself. Let's go there. All right. So there we go. That is it. Now, I am going to do a couple things. I'm going to look to see if I can find anything about the scorpion, and then I'll put it in here. And maybe I'll show you a little bit of the individual, which I just put up. I put it up on the Pat Night Buzzard, and I'm so used to doing a Dream Buzzard. I had Dream Buzzard in the beginning and Dream Buzzard at the end, but it's really a Pat Night Buzzard. It was a song I did in 2015. It was probably one of the first songs where you could hear it and not cringe. There's a lot of warts in it still. I don't remember if I was using 2 bedrooms at a time or if I was in the living room. But, and then I'm going to do this real quick. And that's Elton John. I should put a little, oh, he's too small. You won't be able to tell him. I don't think I'll blur him out so I don't get a copyright strike. All right. Let's see what I find. And we'll go on to the next episode, which is about the video. And there we'll get into things like, discourse. And we'll also get into Dolly 2 and 3, because I had to use both. And a kind of a combination of still shots, video shots, creating still shots, converting it into video. It's kind of mindless fun. I don't see how anyone can gain any intelligence out of it, but it is fun. Okay, so we'll see you here. Hopefully a scorpion shows up. All right. Okay. I was just bouncing for number 9, and I live in the desert. And this guy, I got up while I was bouncing to do something, get a cup of coffee, I forget. And I came back, and right by my where I'm sitting, right behind me, was this guy moving around. And these are the ones, these smaller ones. Probably doesn't look small the way I got them holding here, but these smaller ones, my understanding, gave a harsher sting. It's been about 3, if not 4 years since I've had one in my studio. I have another bedroom across the way that they used to be in there quite frequently up to about 3 years ago, when I finally found the entrance they were using. So I don't see him very much anymore, but here he is. Yeah. I've never been stung by one yet. I don't like these guys, but I wore the wrong color shirt. Beep, 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 beep. So, bounce 9 is done, and the pre what I call a pre-master. I just put it into the master file, and now I'm going to get ready to actually bounce it again with little fade ins and fade outs at the end, and then I'm going to put it in the cloud bounce, and I'll probably just come back to that. In the meantime, I'll be a little careful where I walk around, since I've been walking around barefoot, not barefoot, in my socks. All right, I'm going to be kind of like jumpy. What? Okay, that's it. I don't want him to fall on my... There. Here, buzzard boy. Come on, you like those. Eat them up. See, buzzards can do some good things.
Wandering child, no hands to take. Love the child, for child's sake. Fanatics blind, their own soul. Stop self-doubt, their own goal. There's no further common society. Our wet mind bleeds so freely. No more thought, place more cement. Cover a legion, behance lament. The individual in a social world.